And I said, are you an alcoholic? So she was very upfront. I'm an alcoholic. I should not have been drinking. I shouldn't have been.
Well, she shouldn't have been drinking and driving. And I will tell you, alcohol, this is what I've discovered about alcohol. When people drink a lot of alcohol and they do things, they say, well, you know, the alcohol made me do it. Alcohol didn't make you do it. That's what you wanted to do.
Hear me, yo. Watching how them opera boys get sentenced. You know how the fuck's going on, man. Y'all boys tuned into that Oouchie court watch. Well, we taking it straight from the jail cell to the judge. Hear me?
Amber Salazar. Court is calling 2024 CR 009461, State versus Amber Salazar. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Ashley Jones.
Defense.
I'm El Dapa on behalf of Amber Nicole Salazar.
And are you Ms. Salazar?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Salazar, did you review the application for deferred adjudication or community supervision with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? And probation, this is an application.
We
Ms.
filled out the
Salazar, did-
personal data sheet, so they have it already.
Thank you. Ms. Salazar, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're charged with injury to the child, elderly, or disabled with bodily injury as a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yeah.
Please do not talk behind us when we're on the record. Just ask the deputy to move you down to that end. Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Salazar, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, there's a $1,500 fine. The state recommends deferred adjudication. This will run concurrent with 2025 CC 002683. The state will take into consideration 2024 CC 742687, and there's an affirmative finding of family violence. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of your plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There be no contact with Dominic, Dominic Orozco, Diego Orozco, Johanna Rodriguez, anger management, parenting classes, and TAP evaluation, and follow all recommendations. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State will offer State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
No objection.
And State, have you spoken with the complainants? All right, did you review the waivers with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. Right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, is there a Child Protective Services case open?
Your Honor.
Is there a CPS case open on you?
I'm on TPS as Friday.
All right, and what is your status in CPS court? Are you following their
Yes,
recommendations?
I'm following our recommendations. I'm abiding by every rule that they have. And when I get out, I have to call my caseworker.
All right. Have you ever had any mental health issues?
No, Your Honor.
Do you live by yourself?
No, Your Honor.
Who do you live with?
My grandpa and my uncle.
All right, are there any underage children?
No, Your Honor.
And is this the only child you have?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, there's a $1,500 fine that will be probated. There's to be 5 years deferred adjudication. This runs in current with 2025 CC 002683. Taking consideration 2024 CC 742687. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. When's the last time you had employment?
Before I got in,
She has 2 jobs,
I
actually.
had to.
Doing what?
I'm a manager at China Rose, and I help take care of my mother.
All right, so that job where you take care of your mother, that's off the table. I don't allow people to be home healthcare providers or work with the elderly. Do you
She's-
understand?
Yes, ma'am.
She's a manager at a Chinese restaurant.
I mean, well, she can do that, but I'm not allowing her to get paid for taking care of her relative because that's a home health care provider in the court's eyes. And I don't allow that. There's to be proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Field visits 1 time per month until further notice. And probation, if you can make sure that she is not the person who's taking care of her relative. There is to be no contact with Dominique Orozco, Diego Orozco. And I know I'm mispronouncing that. It's Orozco. Johanna Rodriguez. There's to be 200 hours of community service restitution. I'll deduct 100 hours for parenting classes, which I'm requiring. Have you ever had any drug issues?
No, Your Honor.
Have you ever been prescribed any type of mental health issue, any type of mental health medication in the past?
In the past, yes, Your Honor.
For what?
Just anxiety and depression.
All right, so there's the TAP evaluation and MIC evaluation out of custody. And if needed, a referral to Center for Healthcare Services. And I'll deduct another 100 hours for anger management. Probation, is there anything else?
Okay.
Wait, just one second. Yes, regular random UAs and regular reporting by Zoom or in person. All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, when you have children, children may upset you, but you're not supposed to be hitting children in anger.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I asked
And I
her
know
what happened,
people-
Judge,
Yes.
and because she seems pretty meek. And I said, the police report doesn't reflect that. And I said, are you an alcoholic? So she was very upfront. I'm an alcoholic. I should not have been drinking. I shouldn't have been.
Well, she shouldn't have been drinking and driving. And I will tell you, alcohol, this is what I've discovered about alcohol. When people drink a lot of alcohol and they do things, they say, well, you know, the alcohol made me do it. Alcohol didn't make you do it. That's what you wanted to do. Maybe alcohol gave you courage to do it. But what I'm telling you is, you should not be putting your hands on children in anger or anybody in anger. And, you know, people want to discipline their children by spanking them. You know, that's not against the law. But guess what? If somebody were to just spank an adult or hit an adult because you won't listen, like, why is this food don't taste good? Why doesn't the food taste good? You know, why isn't the trash taken out at this time? If somebody in a relationship were an adult were to hit somebody because they didn't do the dishes, you know how sometimes you have children and they're supposed to do chores, and sometimes parents will hit them because they didn't do the chores. By that same token, if an adult were to get hit for not doing their chores, you know what they call that? Assault, family violence. If an adult, you know, doesn't have the table made up the way somebody wants it made up, and somebody hits them, or if they didn't make the bed in the morning and somebody hits them, guess what that is? That's an assault. But with the child, people say, that's okay. So what I can tell you, your son, Dominique, is going to always remember what you did. And you're going to have to start doing better to make that up for him and to let him know that he can trust you and that you're not going to hit him out of anger. You understand?
And Your Honor, just for the record, we didn't bring that up to negate responsibility. It was just for her to recognize the problem that she has.
Okay. All right, you're going to have to do better.
Thank you,
Yes,
Judge.
Your Honor.
Good luck.
Excuse?
Yes. Mr. Rangel, come down.
Yes. I'm sorry.
And after this one, we're taking our lunch. All right, so on Rangel, you're requesting a bond.
Yes, Your Honor, he's remanded without bond.
Why is he remanded without bond?
Well, apparently he's got a MTR. And we're just asking the court, well, I've already discussed it with the prosecution. They've recommended a $20,000 bond, so we're asking if you would.
Well, what
Right.
is it? Does anybody have the motion to revoke on Rangel? What's the allegations in the motion to
I do, Your
revoke?
Honor. I've got it here.
So you're asking for a bond on this case?
Yes, Your Honor, I am. And also a referral to Veterans Court. Apparently, Mr. Brian Hall's got a pretty impressive binder of
Mhm.
just awards and things that he did while he was in the military. I've already talked to Adina Ruz,
Mhm.
and I've forwarded the paperwork to them. They said it does look favorable, but apparently they're accepting referrals, but they're not going to be able to evaluate until March 27th.
Mhm.
So if you would just allow him to apply for the Veterans Court, see if they can help him. He does have PTSD and he's got some issues, and he needs assistance.
All right. We can go on the record, but I will tell you, it is 12:10.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll hear the evidence that you're going to present for a request for bond amount, and then I'm going to think about it over the break, and I'll set it. Okay. All right, court is calling 2021 CR 1312W State versus Alexander Rangel. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan.
Defense.
Jesse Sepulveda.
And are you Mr. Rangel?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you have a motion to revoke, and on that motion to revoke, you do not have bond. In defense, you're asking for a bond to be set.
I am, Your Honor.
And it's my understanding that the defense and state have reached agreement on a bond amount.
That is correct, John.
And what will be that bond amount?
That would be $20,000 to also include a condition of SCRAM, Your Honor.
That is correct, Judge. And I would be making the bond from what my client tells me and what his mother, who is here, Stand up, Ms. Lance.
Hello?
He will be residing with her.
All right, does he have a vehicle? Does he have access to a vehicle?
No, ma'am.
You want to raise your right hand? You want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, the nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Alexander Randall, ma'am.
All right, do you have access to a vehicle?
No, ma'am.
Does your mom have a vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you have access to a vehicle.
Oh, no, but no, she don't let me use it, ma'am.
I don't know if that's something you all want to consider with regards to asking for SCRAM.
Judge, one of the state uses position or is the position, they ask for anything that they have vehicle access to have ignition or lock installed on that vehicle. If you list within that time.
I believe the mother would be receptive to that, Your Honor, if you would allow him to do that.
All right, how many vehicles are at the household?
What's that, ma'am?
How many vehicles are at that household?
Just hers, ma'am.
Okay. All right, is there anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
State on.
All right, let's recall this. Bashan, how long do you think Veterans Treatment Court needs to review Mr. Alexander Rangel for Veterans Treatment Court? Defense said he's already reached out to them.
Yes, Judge. The end of March, Judge.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this for a hearing, and this hearing is going at the end of the March on this motion to revoke. What date?
Judge, can I have the first of April?
Yes. So this is gonna be recalled for April 1st.
Yes, ma'am.
And actually, I have thought about your bond while we've been talking. So what the court is going to do. The court is going to grant the agreed bond amount. The bond is going to be set at $20,000. And there is going to be ignition interlock on all vehicles at residence. And there's going to be referral to the VA. You either need to go to the VA or either the Center for Healthcare Services for any mental health issues. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And that needs to be done time when you're released. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And if possible, if you choose the VA, then they can give you sober support meetings as well.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I'm going to order 30 sober meetings in 30 days. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
I have a couple questions, Judge.
Yes.
Is the ignition lock being installed in lieu of the SCRAM or in addition to the SCRAM?
State.
The state was requesting both, Your Honor.
All right. Ignition interlock and SCRAM.
And how long will she have to have the ignition lock installed on the vehicle?
If he's planning on being released today, then it needs to be installed tomorrow if it's available. SCRAM or something needs to be installed. So
We give them 7 days to kind of make an appointment and have it installed?
no, the problem is, and we can go off the record. Here's the problem. You're on for a alcohol case, and then I have alcohol issues within the motion to revoke. I'm not saying that's true. I'm not accepting it as true, but just looking at it, you have an alcohol problem, there's mental health issues, and that needs to be taken care of. So I'm not going to give him 7 days to put the ignition interlock on. I tell you what, he needs to have the ignition interlock on by March 4th.
Thank you.
And he already said on March 3rd.
All right. Let's recall that for April 1st. And if you'll give him a reset form, so ignition interlock and SCRAM, installation due no later than March 4th. You understand? Yes.
Oh, Judge, I was gonna ask for the clause number.
Oh, it is 2021 CR 1312W.
watch, we're on the scene. Truths unravel, and what does it mean? In the halls where stories clash, Oouchie court watch quick as a flash.